Hello?
Hey, less than 24 hours ago, you and I were talking about the Delphi Murders, and we had the perfect theory figured out, and then today happened.
Yes.
So help me make sense of that. What the hell happened today?
I don't know. It was so unexpected. I mean, so unexpected. I really didn't think we would get, the probable cause today, that they would work on redacting and all that. But what threw me for a loop was two things. Number one, how there may be another person or others involved because we've never known, and the second thing is his defense attorneys, they're on it. I mean, they're calling out Carroll County, the state, and the prosecutor. I know that's their job, but man, they are on it.
Well, they sound like some badasses. Like he's getting representation. For sure.
Yes.
So, just in your mind, what you've heard, of course, it's crazy right now. I mean, there's stuff from Fig and from Sleuth and from this and that and the all this stuff out there. Just in your mind, where you're at now, what did you hear happen today? They walked into court. We saw, what everybody calls Little Dicky or whatever you want to call him. He walked into court, and then what happened?
Yeah, well, one thing that you and I had talked about, I had told you, is he was so much smaller than what I thought. And when I listened to Murder Sheets earlier, I've watched a couple other YouTubers, and people who were actually there even commented on how much smaller he was in person. You saw that oversized coat. They said that coat was like 10 sizes too big. And underneath that coat, he was really small. I wasn't expecting, I knew he was, shorter, but he was really small, like body-wise too. I was just shocked by that. But I listened to Murder Sheets and a while ago and listened, like I said, to a couple other YouTubers, and Rosie, first of all, I was calling him Rozzy, but his name is Rosie, the attorney, one of the attorneys for Richard Allen. Them wanting the probable cause, they're wanting it released, unsealed. Even Richard Allen is saying he wants it because they think once we see it, Murder Sheet said that his comment was, once we see what the actual probable cause says, we're going to be like, wow, that's what our tax dollars are spent on. I thought that was, I hadn't heard that from anyone else. It makes you think they're wasting our money, obviously, right? Like, this is what they came up with, and this may or may not be the guy. If you listen to the defense, they said that the secrecy around this is just crazy. And the prosecutor was saying, the reason he wanted them sealed was because people who do podcasts, people who do YouTube, and the media just sensationalize it, speculation and everything. And his attorneys came back with, well, yes, they do, because it's all secrecy. So all they can do is speculate. And I thought it was also interesting that the prosecutor came in and handed the judge a already redacted, what he thought should be redacted. It was like he was prepared for her to, unseal it. There was just one thing that really stood out was when Murder Sheets said that Rosie had also brought up that the way that you request for documents to be sealed, there has to be verified statements and verified by, like, you're sworn in by a judge, or like you understand that under the penalty of perjury that these, statements are true before you seal these documents. And he pointed out that the prosecutor didn't do that they were filed incorrectly anyways. I mean, that's huge to me. I mean, they are just, I mean, don't you think? I mean, they are pointing out all kinds, and like I said, I am not defending Richard Allen. I mean, we all know he's innocent until proven guilty, but they are really, they set a narrative today, I mean, to put doubt in our minds, which is their job, but the prosecution on the other side didn't give us anything to set their narrative. Does that make sense? Like, everything I heard is what the defense did. They're not saying this is what the prosecution came in with. All they're saying is, man, they've let us down. There's just so much secrecy. Like, what are they hiding? We're going to see possibly that in this probable cause affidavit that there really isn't jack squat,
Well, that's what his lawyer said. And let me say this: we're not trying to body shame this guy, but this is a guy.
No. Yeah.
This is a guy that killed two young, or is accused of, who's alleged killer, although not alone, of killing two young girls that could be any of our daughters. But and that's the thing, is that those lawyers came out aggressive, assertive, and they said this is a flimsy case. I've seen the actual PC, is what they said, the Baldwin guy anyway, and he seen it, and he said the case is flimsy. And then we had the prosecutor, the guy that's supposed to speak for us, in the middle of court saying, well, there's other people, there may be other people involved. What does that even mean, Tina?
Yes, I know. I mean, the word, I was talking to a friend of mine, and the word she used about how she felt was exactly what I was trying to describe when I heard that. Like, deflated. I just feel like all the air was let out. Like you said, we had put together this theory that seemed so plausible and everything last night. We had talked about it. I had talked about it with someone else, and then this happened today. I told you earlier, I come to the conclusion, I know nothing anymore. I mean, I am so shocked about there being others. Like, is it related to Kagan and that Anthony Schatz account? Was it Richard Allen and someone he's very close to? I mean, it'd have to be someone that he absolutely trusted that, hey, let's do this, I mean,
yeah.
See, you understand? I mean, it's...
Yeah, that's a very close relationship, a long-term relationship. But now, let's go back to your theory. I don't think that what we talked about yesterday was ruled out today. And, of course, what we talked about yesterday had to do with what a very interesting YouTuber has been talking about, and it revolves around a pig roast. In fact, he told us, or she told us, whatever it is, I don't even know. We're not going to dig too deep with it, because I know this is some scary stuff involving these people, okay? But there was talking about a pig roast that occurred. He said, if you're looking at the day it happened, you're looking too late. You got to look 12 hours before. And so you look at that area, and you look what all was going on, and that could be a possibility. But so I don't. I'm kind of treading water here, but so
we can talk about it. We can talk about it. I'm okay with that.
Be careful, because we're talking about some very this is some weird stuff. So you mentioned one part, and everybody has talked about this. What did I'm gonna go ahead and say it. The people that I trust the most know me the most. They know everything about me. They live with me. They know. There's very few people I trust with everything. There's very few people, and that's one of the theories with him, is that it was somebody very close to him, and the other is something else. That's part of the other theory, and I don't think it was ruled out. And I'm going to let you talk about what you're comfortable talking about with it, because I don't know how far I can go with it myself. What do you think?
Okay, well, let's just first discuss, what we were talking about yesterday. If you go back 12 hours from the 13th, it's been said over and over by these group of people that, there was a pig roast. And what got me on this was, like you said, we had a comment one time on one of the podcasts that we just needed to go back 12 hours. So I just got to thinking about that. And when Robert Ives mentioned the crime scene was odd, I always thought about this. I always thought, how did he kill two girls, move their bodies, if he did, move their bodies, stage them, pose them, whatever, and arrange a crime scene, to throw people off. I always thought, how did he manage to do that in such a short period of time? Because, the girls were supposed to be picked up, and so family was already out there looking for them. And I always wondered, so I got to thinking, maybe what happened the night before, when they say that the crime scene was odd, was stuff left from the night before. Supposedly it was a pig roast. There were, I don't know how I should say this, there were a lot of meth heads, I'll say that were supposedly at this pig roast, and you don't know where their mind is when they're having this, so they could have left all these crazy, it was mentioned there were dolls there was a pig's head that could have been from the roast. They could have been recording what they were doing that night, the pig roast, how they went about killing the pig. Eric Williams, in an interview on another podcast, talked about, he saw dolls and odd stuff. I think that all could have been possibly left from the night before, and whenever the killer or killers, the spot they killed the girls, that just happened to be where it was. I mean, it was already there, and so maybe law enforcement had to go back because they were focused on, who did this, why the crime scene was left like that, tried to tie that crime scene to the killer when, in fact, maybe that was from the night before, or maybe there are the other people involved. Right? Make sense?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on that bridge. I mean, we know that. We've heard that it's a complicated tale with many tentacles. Mm-hmm. And we heard that from the guy that knows more about it than me and you both, or anybody knows about it. So, I mean, there was some crazy shit going on. Some meth heads, some drunks. They know. Yeah, I've been around drunks and meth heads. That's crazy. There's no way to describe what they do. It's like, whatever kind of chaos and disorder is going on, fuzzy logic is going on. And so, and then, you have that going on. And then you have, the C-Sound ring going on in the background. And then you have, at the time, this is back 24 hours for us, 12 hours for the Delphi Murders, but 24 hours for us right now before the hearing today. Mm-hmm. So you and I were thinking about, well, you had the pig roast, crazy people going on, tripods, films, pig heads, skulls, whatever going on out there in the woods.
Yes.
And you had the girls talking to a C-Sound ring leader, and at the time we were saying, hey, there's a serial killer there. So you had three possible evils on like a 1 acre lot.
Yeah.
And this is our theory, and that they may or may not even known about each other. But then today, the monkey wrench was thrown in. The prosecutor, McClellan, says there may be more people involved. And like, we're going, what the hell? Because we weren't even adding them together. This is just, they thrown it in together. He basically fed the fire that everyone else has been talking about, that this is some kind of a coordinated effort. And you and I weren't really ready to concede that. We were thinking that And the hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of conversation we had about this, we were saying this is a lone wolf, and whatever kind of crazy shit was going on out there on that bridge was going on. And then he walked up, and, you know, two negatives canceled out each other, and they both got taken down. That's what we're expecting today, what I was expecting. And then we get that shit we got today. We got, who knows what's going on out there? Is it a coordinated effort? I mean, to me, when I think of these two beautiful young souls, young ladies, walking out there and more than one person trying to take them out of the world, that's disturbing to me. That's scary. That's not the world I want to live in, Tina, at all.
Oh, I know, it's scary. I mean, it's scary. I guess it was easier for me to think like you that it was just, you know, one person out there doing it. Not, I mean, that's bad enough in itself, but to actually hear maybe there was more. I mean, because that's scary that all that evil was there at one time. That's what blows my mind, that all these, if there were more, that these people all had the same mindset. That scares me. I mean, that you have that much evil right there at one time. It could be anywhere. I mean, it could be anywhere.
I mean, it's you know, when you look at the world today, where we're at, you know, I mean, yeah, we're dealing with Idaho, we're dealing
Colorado.
with Colorado,
yeah.
and all these places where people are doing this, but this was back a few years ago. This was, if you think about this,
mm-hmm.
you know, if you back it up and you think that two people at least conspired to, this is what the prosecutor is putting forth in a courtroom that has a reporter there that's writing down what he says. It goes into the record of this court case, that at least two people were involved, multiple. So what the hell? This is not just some guy that got caught peeing on the bridge and two girls made fun of him, some little short guy that got made fun of. This is something deeper, according to the prosecutor, according to McClellan, today in a courtroom, being recorded and notated by mainstream media with 900 cameras from all around the world. What the hell are we dealing with here?
I know. I just hope, because the defense, you know, I don't want to say poked holes so much, but, you know, they have done their job. Their job is to put doubt, you know, into the prosecution. But at the same time, we didn't get anything from the prosecution, right? It's just like, I am struggling for, you know, I'm trying to be careful what I say and how I say it, but up there in Carroll County, people's confidence was already low with law enforcement and all this secrecy, and I feel like the secrecy is just building and building, and it's going to come back and bite them in the behind one day, and they're going to fail. They're going to fail. They're going to look worse. And let's say Richard is the guy. He is, you know, part of this. What if he gets off of this because they haven't filed the right paperwork? They don't have enough evidence, but yet the real person gets away. And something else that, you know, you and I talked about. What if, okay, let's say they know exactly who the other person or persons are involved, and these other people were watching this today. What are they doing right now? I hope to goodness that law enforcement is keeping tabs on them, because they could just sneak off in the middle of the night, or, you know what I mean? Does that make sense? It's like, I just hope that they know, you know, who they, you know, he's worried about keeping it sealed, and then he goes out and he says this, you know, that there may be another or others. I hope they know what they're doing, because as of right now, I'm just not so sure anymore.
Well, as you just got through saying, the defense attorneys did their job today, and they did their job yesterday. They freaked me out whenever they said they wanted to have a bail hearing, and they thought that not only should he get bail, but that he should be released on his own recognizance. Okay?
Yes.
Because in a murder trial, there's several preponderance of evidence, whatever kind of, levels you have to meet to have someone accused of murder kept in jail. But if that evidence is not there, then they're released out. And, of course, you and I have discussed a million times, well, I hope they have something. I hope they have DNA. I hope they have, something besides just, well, yeah, that's the guy, But now let's just back it up for a minute. Let's have some faith in law enforcement for a minute, because those guys, they're big hitters. Baldwin and Rosie, I mean, those guys, 20, 30-year veterans in lawyering. I mean, those guys, they know how to juice it. They know how to butter us up. That's their job.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. They did their job, yeah.
They did their job, because we're doubting Carroll County now. And, of course, McClellan, he's pretty new to it. Of course, I remember reading about him a few months ago, about all the women, all you girls, he's so hot, whatever else, and then I'm like, come on. I mean, we want him to be hot. I don't have a problem with that, Matthew McConaughey, John Grisham novels, whatever, but I want him to kick some ass, because,
I know, and he didn't say that today. He didn't do that today. I mean, do you feel that do you feel confident in them right now?
No, I want him to come in swinging hard. I want him to be Matthew McConaughey. I want him to give that speech. This guy is the evil guy. This is the guy that killed these two beautiful young souls, and he's up there, well, there may be other people involved. What the fuck are you talking about, man? Come on. And maybe that's a ploy too. I hope. But now,
and then him filing the motion for a gag order. He's still. What are you? I understand you don't want the witnesses talking. I totally get that. That could so ruin a case and everything. But he made even the coroner. They don't want the coroner talking. Is that why? I mean, I don't understand all that. I'm not any shape, form say that I know that stuff. But what I saw today, that prosecutor, he needs to go back to his books and start reading up. I mean, he needs to come in, just like you said, swinging. He better start swinging hard, because I want this solved, the right person, and this to be over. But when he came out and he said that, when I don't remember if I messaged you or called you and told you that, I was so blown away, because all the, even the defense team said that was the first they had heard of it. And I don't know how that works, or when they're supposed to tell them or when they can tell them, but they just, they said that was new to them. Did he just throw that out there? I mean, that's almost how I felt.
Yeah, it's like he wanted into a room and, just started mugging and stuff. But because, I've been in a vehicle for 10 hours a day. You called or whatever it was and let me know about that situation. I'm like going, what the hell? Because, we both had, all of us, all the people that are listening right now, all of us had an expectation about today. I mean, I think that most of us figured that we would get some kind of a redacted probable cause document, and that, we would get this guy, and, but then we come out, we got our ass kicked today, as a society, in my mind. Yeah. But now I hope we live to fight another day with it. But, and again, I go back and I go, all of us, everybody that's watching this case are going, there's no way they would arrest this guy. They would not do that without, But then their guy on television in front of millions of people probably says, it's a flimsy case. we won't bail. In fact, we don't want bail. We want released on his own recognizance.
Yes, and I'm here in Indiana. I'm just a few miles from where Baldwin's law office is, and I've heard about him. I've heard him on other cases, like major cases in Indiana. He knows his stuff. Yes, he's a defense lawyer, and that's what he's supposed to do. But people need to look him up. I mean, his law firm, they don't play. They don't play. They know their stuff. I don't know much about Rosie. I really don't. But Baldwin, I've paid attention to just with other cases that, I've seen on our local news and stuff. And he will, if he's saying it's flimsy, then it's flimsy. That if they're saying, go ahead, put it out, let the public decide and see where their tax dollars are being spent, that speaks a lot to me.
Yeah, because with those two guys there, with two lawyers like that, you got Rosie, who is the Matthew McConaughey-looking guy. He's in his 30s, 40s, whatever else. Then you got the bad bulldog Baldwin guy. You can tell he's a seasoned. He's seasoned. Yeah. He wants to talk.
Yes,
they want it out there. And I hope Carroll County has their shit together, is all I can say.
I do too. Today was just a whirlwind. I mean, I went from, we're gonna, know what they had, maybe, we knew that a lot of it would be redacted, but then just to throw that out there that there may be another or others, and then for the defense to put out what they found, that they filed incorrectly, how they did things wrong already. I'm like, I'm just deflated was what the word my friend described, and I was like, my God, that's it. I'm just deflated.
You would think they would put that, I mean, come on. Even if you don't even actually read the document out, just say, here, sign the document, I'm under perjury. At least have the piece of paper there, or at least lie about it later and invent the shit the day before you walk into court. But damn, to not even have it and have their lawyer not even be able to find it. I mean, these guys are good. These guys, I can tell you this, the prosecution better tighten their ass up, because these guys, but of course, no one knows about DNA yet. We don't know about that. We don't know what kind of mess was left down there. I know that everybody has talked about, that has seen the crime scene. Oh, there was another thing come out today about a person that everybody thought saw the crime scene or knew about it. Can we talk about that?
What was it? I'm sorry. Say it.
The peeker, but not the peeker. It's a word that rhymes with peeker. Leaker.
Leaker. Okay. I'm thinking, what are you talking about? Well, I had seen on Bloke, he had a show last night where he exposed who Lee Kerr was. I mean, like, you can go to YouTube and you can find it. I think it's True Crime Bloke. Is that what it's called? I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And
Bloke's the joke. Oh, maybe I'm wrong about that. I'm sorry.
No, it's True Crime Bloke.
I'm joking.
I know, but anyways, he he found out that Lee Kerr was none other than a rapist, woman beater, child molest. I mean, like, he has and I can't think of the guy's name. That's awful. I watched it this morning, but I cannot think of his name. But if everyone just goes to True Crime Bloke, they'll find it. But anyways, this guy would get women who would comment, to him, wanting to find out about what information he had. And it was almost like he catfished them to get things from them. I mean, it was, he blew Leaker right out of the water. It's really good. It's really good.
But see, that's just so weird to think that, we talked about this too, is like someone that's involved in a case involving catfishing or whatever it's called, to like want pictures of people's dirty underwear. I mean, that's just weird. I mean, whoever that is, if that's true, need to be knocked in the head. But okay, so I mean, I try to make light of it because like today was such a disheartening thing for me. I'm trying to find any kind of way of saving grace on this thing because, I mean, you know, I really expected different than today. I thought all of us did. I mean, everybody did. You know, the guy that I always watch, and this sleuth intuition guy. He's so slow and methodological. You know, he'll pay attention to it. Of course, I'll watch all of them. You know, all these guys, Rick Snay, and there's all kinds of people that are commenting on it now. Everybody has unique views, and you know, I'm kind of open-minded. I'll listen to it. I don't want to be a big part of the spotlight. I want to know answers. And as a person who wants to know answers, I didn't get what I wanted today. This was like very unsatisfying letdown to me. Yeah, that's what it was for me. What do you think? What was it to you?
Yeah, I'm the same way. And now, we won't know anything, till February 17th because his pretrial hearing was supposed to be in July, but the judge said since they're going to have the bail hearing in February, she just moved the pretrial, till then. So till February, unless there actually is someone else or others and we start seeing arrests like that. I mean, I don't know what we'll get unless his attorneys start putting stuff out there because we know we're not getting nothing from up there.
Well, they're going to talk, but now there's supposed to be something with this PC thing. What? I didn't. Cool. I mean, again, I've been on the road all day. I don't know what.
Well, I just saw something on our local news a while ago that they expect a decision by Friday. They had said by Thanksgiving, but now they say Friday. By putting out the probable cause to us. It'll probably be heavily redacted. That's my guess. I don't know. So we'll just have to wait and see if we hear something Friday. We could actually have part of that.
That would be, of course, the defense people are going to call it flimsy, but it may be more there, Now, I think there was a, let's bounce back this morning early when we first started hearing about this. I mean, there was a guy that misspoke, Fig, whatever his name is. I've watched him a couple of times. I think he may be ex-law enforcement. He was misunderstood, and there was this supposition that maybe multiple people were involved. And I heard that, and I was like, oh my God. So not just one or two people involved, but this whole conspiracy, and I mean, it could get. I'm gonna drag it in the mud now. I'm not going to do that. But that scared us because that first touch of toe in water is kind of cold and kind of weird, and it's wrong. It doesn't give you a good representation of what the whole water is like. So it was kind of weird this morning, but it seems like it may be congealing some, and maybe if they'll give us that probable cause affidavit, how you pronounce it, and I'm sure they'll be working Thanksgiving on this case. But now, that judge says that this is just another murder case for her. She's got a bunch of them. There's no telling how many she's dealing with up there.
Yeah, supposedly she held up her date book and said, this is what I do. I do murder cases all the time. And, she almost made it seem like this case is no different, which it's not. I mean, there's always a family member somewhere hurting, and she was like, so this isn't my only murder case, so that's why it's not until, February. But I think, they've got the right judge. I think, when the other reclused is south, that maybe this was just more overwhelming for him. So I think we have the right judge. We just got to make sure the prosecutor does his job.
Well, we've obviously got good defense counsel as well. So, hopefully with those guys, there won't be any, if there is a preponderance of evidence that's presented later on, that these guys are tough enough and smart enough, which it seems like they are. You're not going to walk over the top of them. So he's going to get good representation and maybe a jury of his peers. If he's guilty, then they'll find him to be so. And maybe one of these days, people like Tina and Brad and everybody else that's outside of the grid or whatever else, maybe we can get a good night's sleep.
Yes, I know. It's been, last night I struggled sleeping because I we're going to know something. Maybe we're going to know something. I should have slept and not worried about it because I get up and I'm going to have another restless night because I didn't find out nothing. You know what I mean? I mean, I did find out possibility of somebody else, but that's not helped.
That hasn't helped me because I was sleeping better, even though I didn't sleep like you. I was sleeping better knowing in my mind that we had figured out that it was a lone wolf and there was a bunch of evil out there and they all canceled each other out. But not happening tonight because, and again, 4 people killed in Idaho. And we don't know who did it yet, but it's only a week into it. This is 5.5, almost 6 years. And we have video and we have all this stuff and we have this drama and we have 3,001 potential POIs and we don't have anything. I mean,
nothing.
What in the nothing. And it's, like you said, nothing.
Yeah, it's because everything's been such a secret. I mean, there are things I really feel, and who am I again? I'm just someone who likes to, true crime, but I've followed so many other cases where after a year, okay, we don't have somebody, so let's give the public a little more information. And they give more, and then guess what? It gets solved. I feel like they're hiding. Are they just hiding because it's, how do I say this? It's going to be shocking, even more shocking when, they do say, okay, or are they don't know. I almost think that they really don't know.
Well, that makes you think that, that's why you had the mayor of the town getting blamed. That's why you have the family. That's why you have all this bullshit because they don't know. That's what we think. And then like he goes, well, they finally come up with this guy out of an emergency type situation. It seems like it's like at the last minute they go up and they rustle this guy in, and he's the one, and then like, there's flimsy and like,
and that's what I wanted to know. What did they have that they got him? What did they have? And we didn't get that. They want to keep it quiet. Why? Because like the defense lawyer said, it's flimsy. It's not him, It's like, what the heck?
Well, I hope that it's just because we're looking at this thing with a microscope and we're looking at the sausage making, as they say. And, of course, they tell you that with political things, and this is political for damn sure. You're watching the sausage making, and it's ugly. It is ugly to watch the kill. It's ugly to watch the chopping up and the spreading out and the searing and the adding together, and, God, it's ugly. It's ugly.
Yeah,
this is
I know.
ugly.
I would, right now, I don't need to know all the details. None of us do, but I need to know what they had. What they got him on. I mean, why can't they give us that? Why can't they give us that? That would shut people up, maybe.
Well, if they would have come out and said, yes, we do have DNA, and his DNA was there, and there was 2 drops of blood on Libby's forehead and 1 drop of blood on Abby, and, semen found 12 feet away. I mean, I could deal with that, but this bullshit of we found a gun somewhere, and it was the same caliber, and it may have, come on, give us something. We pay taxes, we support you guys. We give you votes.
We pay their salary.
Yeah. Give us one, modicum of civility here. Anyway, so
yeah.
What are we going to call this? What is this thing going to be titled? I don't know. For anybody that's lasted this long, 12 hours before. This is this is probably the interesting conversation I've heard about today. But 12 hours back, the Delphi Murders, 12 hours back before the pig roast or something. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, that sounds. Yeah, I mean, because for 24 hours of, let's see. I don't know. I'm still just like.
It's all a bunch of bullshit. That's what I call it. Bullshit.
Let me add to Delphi today. BS.
Yeah. Here's the synopsis of Delphi today. It's bullshit. All right.
That's
Tina,
right.
Appreciate you, lady.
All right.
Thanks,
I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Goodbye.